Good morning, good afternoon, good evening from whatever time zone you may be in. This is Off the Grid Podcast with Aiden, Jared, and Nathan.
You know, otherwise access to the truth.
There we go.
And in this podcast today, we're going to be talking about socialism in America.
Yes.
So it's kind of a scary topic, but it's
Something
more
that
of like
never happens.
it's more of like why
Right.
socialism will never work in America. Not just because like it's infiltrating us,
Right.
which it is. I mean, it really is
a lot, yeah.
But we're going to talk about why it's not going to succeed, because there's many reasons as to why it won't. But before we go into that, I would also like to mention that we're available on YouTube and Apple Podcasts, and you can follow us on either one of those channels, and you can like our content. And even on Apple Podcasts, you can subscribe, it's called, instead of I don't know. But it's I don't know where I'm going with that.
Do whatever you do there.
Do whatever you do.
instead of
Subscribe.
follow.
You can even rate us on there instead of just comment and stuff. Let us know how we're actually doing by leaving us a rating, and you can comment. Let us know what type of podcast you want to see us come up with, and that's pretty much it.
I think you covered the bases.
And the cool thing about Apple Podcasts really quickly is that it links right to our channel. So
Yep. So right when it's available on YouTube, it's available on Apple Podcasts. Split second.
Cool.
Yep.
There we go.
Sweet.
Yep.
All right.
So
Awesome.
ready to go. But before we get into the nitty gritty of socialism, what are you doing?
I don't know. I'm sighing, Jared. It's been a long day.
Yeah, I know. Long day.
Long day.
So
Long day.
Good day. Long day.
before we get into the issues involving socialism, let's just get a basic definition of it, because
Yeah. It's important.
it's important,
I
because
think
if
we
you
have
don't,
3 definitions of it, actually.
we got 3 definitions, because we want to get a different view on each side, because maybe the first definition you may not understand, and then when you hear the other one, you're like, oh, okay, that's definitely bad.
That's clicks.
We're just covering all...
the bases.
Yeah, just so then anyone that
First
is...
base, second base, third base.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's a
all
baseball
the
term.
bases.
Yep.
Yeah.
Don't forget there's home plate. That's considered a base.
Oh yeah. Duh.
Anyways,
the most important one.
All right, so let's get on track here.
Yes, sir.
This is the definition, the first definition for socialism. It's any of various economic and political theories advocating collective or governmental ownership and administration of the means of production and distribution of goods.
Oh my, that's a mouthful.
That's
Yeah,
a
so that's
Say
like-
that 10 times fast. Please don't.
Yeah, I'm not doing that.
No way,
not
Jose.
able to do that. So the next one is a system of society or group living in which there is no private property. So it's like
lovely.
you can't own any property.
Jared?
So you're what?
Even
you get rid of
that.
that microphone. It's not yours. I actually wanted it.
Even
The
that.
government owns it now.
Oh.
But are you the government?
Nope.
I belong underneath the government, so technically I own everything too.
You're the underworld.
No.
You mean
Okay,
come
go
from?
on.
You come from.
Okay. Next definition.
The next one is a
man.
system or condition of society in which the means of production are owned and controlled by the state.
Both of those last ones, they don't sound good. They just don't sound good. It sounds dark and
It does.
Bad.
It has a dark sound to it, even though they're just definitions of what it is.
Yeah, no.
If people would know just the definition of it, I think
is a
that
foreshadow.
it'll turn some people away from it.
Oh, definitely.
Because socialism sounds nice. Like, we're
Oh,
going to be social.
getting all the
Kinda like back in the-
getting social and
Getting social over here.
yeah, that's not what it
kind of
means.
like back in the '60s. Socialism was a big thing in the '60s. Everyone
Oh,
was
was it?
sharing every yeah,
Okay.
yeah. But
So
It's but essentially what everything's saying here is that it's the government would be controlling everything that you own, pretty
Yeah.
much.
yeah, that would be fun.
And basically saying, okay, this is your stuff. We're going to take it and then redistribute it to everyone else, so
Right.
then they
Everyone
can
else.
get equal share of it. Like, okay, that lawnmower that you loved, that's your
That's
neighbor's
gone.
going to get to
yeah,
use
we're
that.
gonna chop
gone.
it up into 100 little pieces and give it
Yeah,
to
and share all the
everybody.
different parts, like the
Yeah.
nuts and bolts are going everywhere.
Yeah.
There's the blade. Oh, it's in Mexico now. Why to go to
Ugh.
Mexico? I don't know, but New Mexico probably.
It wouldn't make sense otherwise.
Yeah.
whatever.
Mexico's not part of the U.S.
Yeah, no, that's
Yeah.
true. That is true.
Just kidding.
Yeah, so instead of having that capitalistic
man.
government where people are free to produce however much they want for their own success, they're making for the government and other people's use.
In
Anyway, I was gonna say, why is this bad, guys? Why is this not a good?
socialism?
Yeah, just based on this definition, why is it not?
Why is it wrong? I think it's because the government owns everything and we don't have anything. It's like
Yeah,
totally
just
throwing
going-
out the personal property idea of what the U.S. has established.
Yeah, just basing it off of what we already know from the definition is saying that we're not going to really own much of anything.
Nope.
Most of it's going to be owned by the state.
Not
is
most
how
of
they,
it. That's
So-
total government.
all of
That's-
it,
Yeah, all of it.
So
All
all
of it.
that, so all that hard work doesn't mean anything now because
Well, where's the incentive? Where's the
there
incentive
absolutely
for hard
is
work?
none. There's none.
Because if it's going to be distributed, my hard work, which could benefit me majorly, if it's distributed to literally everyone else in the world, like, I could work my butt off, but then there's always going to be that one lazy guy that counteracts my work completely. So where is the even playing field?
There is no even
There is
playing
no-
field, even though they say it's about, being equal.
Right.
It's not
No,
all
absolutely. It's a social thing. We all want to come together. We all want to
click.
support each other. Yeah. Yeah.
We all want to
If
click.
if that works, then we don't have to have this podcast. But
But
yeah.
but
yeah.
reality it doesn't. So
exactly.
yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah, so
That
so
got
anyway,
awkward real
guys.
quick. Yep, go ahead.
So
Ian.
anyway, guys, the first reason why socialism won't work in America is a simple fact that a lot of people know that socialism does work in other countries. Examples are Finland, Denmark,
Sweden,
Sweden,
Yeah.
Norway.
All the
Yeah.
ones that are doing so great, right?
Yeah, they
And-
claim to be doing great.
and the biggest one, Venezuela.
Venezuela.
That's-
That's been in the news lately.
That's the one where democratic socialists is what
Yeah.
they call them. They
Yeah.
don't want to look at Venezuela because that's a bad example of
Oh,
what
yeah.
they, they,
But it's a
that's just
realistic
like,
example. It's
Yeah. It's the closest thing to socialism that they have.
I mean,
that's the reason why people don't quote it. They don't
Yeah.
go, "Hey, this is a great state," because it's following socialism better than any other one of those.
by
things
our
that we
definition,
named.
I would tell democratic socialists, hey, listen, if you want your perfect utopia, you go to Venezuela. I mean,
Right.
Oh, I mean, it's falling apart, just like, just like what we would think it would be, because we
Yeah.
think of a pure socialist country, we think, oh, it's gonna fail, and that's exactly what Venezuela is doing,
and lo and behold, it's failing.
because they don't
So-
have like other means of support, and having that, it's not much
I
going.
think that the whole idea of socialism, why it works at first. What were you saying earlier? You were
I
saying
mean, it's about the short term and not the long term.
it's about the short term and not the long term. It's the way socialism works. The reason why it works when you first start it and then it always fails is because it's the idea you take all the money and you bring it into the government.
Yeah.
And the government distributes it. Well, if you go with the idea that where the money comes from, well, it doesn't come from the poor people. They get
Right.
they give very little.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's supposed to help the poor people. Well, so if we look at it like, okay, there's a graph, and let's say on the left side it's at 0, and at the right side it's at 100.
Yeah.
So the person is at 100 is making the most money, and the person at 0 is making no money. The whole spectrum along that, well, they're trying to level it out. That means that the rich people get poorer and the poor people get richer, which sounds great. But the rich people were making the money, and now we're trying to redistribute it over everybody. And so now the rich guy isn't richer, but now he's not creating jobs. Now he's not.
Yeah,
He has
like-
no incentive to go any harder because he's just going to be on a level playing field with anyone
Yeah.
else. And so
It's-
all your money that was from the rich goes to the poor, but then the rich don't have incentives to work any harder to provide other people's jobs. And then you get socialism.
and
It
it
just
all
doesn't
falls
work.
apart. It
It
all-
doesn't work. I don't
and
think that
and
works.
this is weird.
It's a house of cards.
I remember seeing a point made by Crowder, and he
yeah.
said something along the lines of socialism is the only form of government that requires that there is something else to help start it up. Like
Yeah.
something like there has to be millionaires
Oh,
Yeah.
in order
no.
for
yeah.
socialism
Oh
to
yeah.
work.
Which I mean, millionaires capitalism. I mean, so even socialism itself will cause
'Cause-
a little bit of capitalism to
'cause
get
look,
started.
if you look at-
so
No, it has to take capitalism or at least
Right, that's
a lot
what I
of
mean,
money
yeah.
to start it. Not
Yeah.
yeah.
I
I got
you. What I was trying to say.
I
Yeah.
got it.
Yeah, but capitalism, you can start that from the ground up.
Yeah.
Presumably. I mean, you can,
Yeah.
just like, okay, I want to start a bakery, you can just start it right up. Obviously, you need the funding and all that,
Well,
but
that-
like, say you were the first business in this new economy, like,
Right.
you can just start it right up and there shouldn't be much problems.
How about
It
a small
takes a little bit of
podcast?
a risk. Like there's an
Yeah.
incentive.
With
You
risk and
want what
reward.
you want.
I feel like
Let's
the
give 'em a
socialist economy, it's not very there's not a whole lot of risk to it, like what like you starting up in your own business, because
Wow.
like that you're gonna have stuff,
Right.
or at least you assume that you're gonna have stuff.
It's either
Yeah.
you're going to have stuff or you're going to have nothing. So you're going to be on a level playing field with everyone having nothing.
It's
So-
either one extreme
There's
or
no
the other.
competition.
Right. And so like where people start up businesses now, they have, well, capitalist ideas of banks and all these things that are very capital, like they're very capitalistic.
Yep.
If that's even a real word, I don't even know.
Yeah,
but
it is.
It is okay, but I won't use it again in case. But the thing is that you get people who are taking risks with with their money. Banks are taking risks with their money and giving them to businesses to start out. So they're providing a service which is from capitalism. It's only from capitalism. The government's not going to do the same thing, or if they do, they're going to give it to literally everyone. And where does that get us? It's like in my mind, it's a very simple idea that socialism won't work, but there is some nitty-gritty stuff that I think we're going to get further into today.
Yeah, definitely.
Tonight, from whatever time zone you may be in. That's what we always say.
Yeah.
Yeah, so as we said, there have been failed socialism such as Venezuela, and according to BBC News, the South American country has been caught in a downward spiral for years, with the growing political discontent further fueled by skyrocketing hyperinflation, power cuts, and shortages of food and medicine, and more than 3 million Venezuelans have left the country.
3 million.
Yeah.
That says something. That's not a family. That's
a bunch of families.
That's a bunch of families. That's over.
Well, I mean, you're talking about an economy, or a form of government rather, that is
both.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like as a whole, that it's not giving the necessary things for living. Like you can't even
get food.
You can't even provide food and medicine. Like all these elderly people, like they're probably suffering. I mean, like there's probably a lot of dying people that are requiring these medicines in order to live. I mean, you see like. Aiden, you take a lot of medicine, right?
Oh, yeah. Can you imagine if I lived in Venezuela? I mean...
Yeah, you may not be like, can imagine if I didn't take these medicines? That's what I thought you were going to say.
Well, that leads into that. I mean, if I couldn't... Like,
if you couldn't... who makes the medicines? Does the government make the medicines?
Right, exactly. So how do you know that they're not poisoning those?
They regulate it.
I believe they call it socialized medicine is the term for that.
Yeah,
I don't like.
Come up with it.
I absolutely am terrified of the thought of the government making your medicine.
Right.
Like I'm terrified of that. Like
you've seen it even like places like Canada who have socialized medicine, and it's just awful. It's like you're waiting in lines for 12 hours in the day, and you just broke your finger, but you broke your finger and you're sitting in a line for 12 hours, or you have like a surgery that needs done. You're waiting for months and months and months before you can. It's like in capitalist societies, no, someone's going to make money on that. They have incentive to go and make a procedure to help you right away. Like it's.
If you were in a capitalist country, that would have been done like that.
Yeah, no,
like seriously.
Oh yeah, because you can just go up to a doctor and
like, hey,
hey, look, I broke my finger. Right. Can I have medicine for it? And then he'll prescribe something for you.
Pay for it
and you don't have to necessarily wait in lines to get the necessary medical attention.
There's some specialized things that are in terms of capitalist things. Like there are specialized surgeries that will happen that will take months to be on the waiting list. Mm-hmm. But the fact of the matter is like. They came through by capitalism. There was someone who had an incentive to create that procedure,
right?
To even if it is just to make money, I don't think that all doctors are just to make money. I think it's more
because some people truly like want to help others,
people,
but
absolutely.
But I think like with the waiting list thing, going back to that, there was some people that need like a transplant or something,
right?
They have to wait for a certain organ that in order to like the right.
Right, my aunt had a new heart put in. Like she
it has to be the right blood type and stuff. Because if it doesn't, that's not going to work.
And people would say like, "Oh, well, then you're going to incentivize killing people so you can get other people's hearts." I mean, yeah, but that's severely immoral, and people don't do that.
No,
generally.
No.
In Mexico, they do cut into the person's liver and let them.
No,
you know what I'm talking about?
No,
but then that wouldn't
illegal transplants.
Yeah,
really? Cut out someone's kidneys.
Yeah,
I did not hear about that.
Yeah, it's disturbing stuff.
Disturbing thing, yeah.
What were you saying, Ian? That incentivized like killing people. Even that's not true because the donor has to give consent in order for them to.
Yeah, for the most part, we're talking about like if you're doing that, you're severely immoral, and a capitalist society would be like, oh well, we don't want you, and then kick you off of the list.
Yeah. We don't want you here.
We don't want you here. That's what that comes down to.
Yeah,
I mean, some of these points are a little bit loose, but they show what we're truly going at. Like there are some hard-hitting issues that that these are just like anecdotal things. These are just like things that don't always, like, it doesn't happen to everyone, but they do happen to people, and it's a scary society.
Very scary.
So you had some more on Venezuela, right, Aiden?
Yes.
Like some diving deep into it.
Notes, yeah.
Yes, sir. And this article is from Fox News. It's called "How Socialism Turned Venezuela from the Wealthiest Country in South America into an Economic Basket Case." So this is gonna be very, very, very interesting. Yeah. So it says Venezuela is once the wealthiest country in South America, but in recent years millions have fled the country, and
What'd you say?
in recent years millions of people have left the country.
Oh yeah, that's what we quoted earlier.
Yeah. In mass starvation and violence, actually.
Well,
So-
you would assume that would come along if you're not getting the necessary things for life. I mean, you
Yeah.
know, that it's going to result to
food,
violence.
shelter,
I mean,
all that, all
you know,
those
like
simple
looting,
things.
like we've mentioned before,
looting,
you know.
yep.
Me and Aiden, we talk about like apocalyptic stuff.
I
and
mean,
this-
Venezuela
this
is like an apocalypse.
I mean,
it's basically
yeah. I mean, it's like it's having its own apocalypse within the
right.
country
that's like
there.
the purge.
So
That's like the purge, basically.
Oh yeah, when you deny people of their basic needs,
They're gonna go nuts.
they're gonna go nuts.
they're gonna go to the nuts.
they're gonna turn into nuts, or they're gonna.
I don't know.
Okay.
Something. I
This
don't
is
know.
basically Venezuela is basically the purge. Like
Yeah,
Is
like-
it basically?
it's
pretty much.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah,
Sorry.
so basically, I mean, I'm not gonna read the whole article, but basically, it's like the government dictators keeping stuff from the people, and they'll, get mad because
Which-
of it. So
You always see dictators at the top of these socialist
Right,
dictators,
like-
always.
Yeah,
that's
I
what
mean,
it turns into.
this
It
is
turns-
why,
Like almost
like
what
with
all
our
those
government,
transitions.
is how it works so well is because we have those checks and balances in place.
Yep.
So some governments just don't have that, and then they can pretty much do whatever the heck they want. Like Kim Jong Un and
yeah.
North Korea, has no checks and balances. And he's always like Kim Jong Un, like dictators, anyone that's like that, they're always feel threatened.
Yeah.
Like they're
Oh,
always
yeah,
they're
yeah.
always in constant worry, like, oh, someone's
Right.
gonna come and overthrow me.
That's sometimes the reason why they last so long is because they're always in fear. They always keep
they're
themselves.
paranoid.
Yeah, they gotta do certain restrictions, like how.
I mean, Kim Jong Un killed his own uncle
yeah,
because
didn't he like have a dog?
he
maul
had a
him to
dog
death?
maul him. Yeah,
Ugh.
yeah. That's just because he's
He's
so
messed up.
paranoid
Socialism,
about
guys.
Yeah,
socialism for you guys. It's perfect, right?
need a big title on the screen: socialism.
yeah.
It's
You know?
perfect.
Blinking.
The perfect.
Yeah, with arrows pointing to it, and
Yeah.
and
Right.
balloons flying across.
Brainwashing.
Yeah,
brainwashing.
make it feel like it's all rainbows and
Oh, they
buttercups.
brainwash people in like North Korea.
Yeah.
It's awful.
Yeah, so I think that's it for that article. So
Okay.
So Joe, did you have something you want to talk about?
Yes.
Here, I'll tell you what he's going to talk about. He's going to talk about how Bernie Sanders
Hey,
and the
shut up.
Democratic
That's my line.
That's mine.
Okay, well then get to it, bro.
All right, well, hold up.
I'm about to. Oh man. I'm about
anyways,
to.
Having
Wow.
fun, right?
What I was
What
going to
to
say
say.
before he stole my thunder was how Bernie Sanders and other Democratic leaders are talking about success of socialism, like Norway, in countries like Norway, Sweden, Denmark, and Finland.
Yeah.
But and they're trying to set that as an example
To why it
to,
works.
to like why it works and why the U.S. should adopt
Right.
that rule.
Yeah.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Then
always how it is.
That was
Yeah.
all that he talked about in the during the election.
Yeah.
When,
I mean, he's
Still
comparing.
is. Oof.
What he's
Yeah.
doing is he's
Isn't it
comparing.
Bernie running still?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's
again
running
this
for-
year? Oh
yeah.
my gosh, how old is that man?
Like
Old.
way old.
He's
Like
really old.
he's okay. Trump
way
is
old.
72 and he's like 80
older?
something.
Is he?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Whoa. Well.
He's way too old. He's gonna
And
end up
he's a
dying in
senator.
office. Like
Oh,
my
my
gosh.
gosh.
Die in office. Could you
like first
imagine?
day, boom.
First
he's
day-
out.
That, I would be all right with that.
So you want to deal with the stress?
Even I wouldn't want to kill the man.
No,
but
I wouldn't
like,
kill. I wouldn't want to kill him. Did I say I want to kill him?
No,
I said I-
I'm putting words in your mouth.
If he was in office, then he died.
He would
Then-
die
then
right
we'd
in
be
his chair.
fine.
No, he
I
died.
didn't do that.
He died. He died. He died in that very chair.
He died in that very bed. I don't want to sleep in that bed. It's been slept in by the last how many? 49?
President. Oh, can you
49
imagine?
presidents?
Oh, no, kind of like those ghost. I mean, sorry, kind of not related, but those ghost shows where they like have the prints of, like
Prince
you
of
know.
Bel Air. Barrel.
No, when they have those like fingerprints of who. No, like when they use those fingerprints of like who's touched what.
Ooh.
On the president's best, can you imagine how
I
many
have not seen
fingerprints have
those
been on
shows,
there?
but I'll take your word
Can you
on it.
imagine how many people... Anyway, besides that...
Yeah, so back
The US
to
population.
back to the
Stop it!
My gosh. Okay.
I love reading the notes before.
No, that is not cool, man. I'm gonna be reading. Well, you don't have any notes, so I guess I can't read ahead. But I will
I have
next.
one. I have one.
I'm reading
Okay,
someone.
I'm
Jump
gonna read
to
it
it
then.
right now?
No.
Oh, that's later. Okay.
Anyway,
Do you want to
so,
go, man?
So the reason why this is like comparing apples to oranges here is
That's not a good comparison.
yeah, I know. Yeah.
It's all well. It's
So
apples and oranges.
So the first thing is that
Oh my
you're
gosh.
looking at a different scale here. When you look at like a country like Denmark, Sweden, or Norway,
Baseball.
their populations are much smaller than the U.S.
Yeah.
You're talking the U.S. population is actually 327.2 million roughly. And
That's a lot of people.
Yeah, that's a lot of people.
How many
And
people left that one place? 3 million?
3 million, yeah.
What
That's
in
1%.
Venezuela?
Yeah.
Is that what it said?
1% of our population.
Hot
Would've
1%. That's...
No, but seriously, imagine losing 1% of our
Yeah.
like our like I mean that's small.
That's
it
still a
sounds
lot,
small.
though.
That's
I mean-
That is a
3
lot,
million
yeah.
people leaving.
And
But that's not a smaller country, right? Isn't
I just
it?
found that funny how it's 1%.
You know those people
Yeah,
that said. You
1%.
know those people that
Political.
said.
White.
They're like, oh, you know, once Trump gets elected, I'm out of here. You know, like
Let
I'm
him
leaving
go.
the country.
How
many,
Yeah,
did
like,
Miley
where you-
Cyrus say that?
Huh?
Oh,
She said
Miley
that.
Cyrus-
She's,
oh, yeah,
she's nuts. She is.
She left. No, because capitalism rules and
Yeah,
this is
and
great.
everyone knows that this is the best country in the world, and you
It's because of
if you move
capitalism,
out somewhere,
first of
you're
all.
like, okay, so Trump gets elected, where are you gonna move to? That's better than here. I
Canada.
mean, like, you're gonna move to France. Oh no, there's riots there. You're gonna move
There's
to
gonna be
England.
civil
Oh
war
wait,
soon.
no, they're
Syria.
getting-
That's the best.
Syria.
Syria. There's gonna
Oh
be
yeah,
civil-
that's
civil war.
a very safe place to
They're gonna
live.
get shot by terrorists.
I go there on
Right.
my honeymoon is where I'm gonna go.
Honeymoon in
After I get
Syria,
married,
can you
know, we're
imagine?
Gonna honeymoon to Syria.
Having a picnic in a bombed out building.
Wow, Aiden, you went there.
When the sandwich
Oh!
goes flying,
No,
crap.
no, no, dude.
It's all
dude,
sandy, dirt.
Dude.
Wow.
Oh my gosh, a missile.
Go on a honeymoon in
part
North
of?
Korea.
What am I
Sorry,
a
you
part
can
of?
you're not allowed to take pictures of yourself next to the statue. But need pictures for my honeymoon. You can't take it.
Oh, that's really bad.
Well, then my
Anyways,
vacation's ruined.
you get
So
killed for that.
so let's get a little
Get
bit
killed
of
for
a.
that.
Okay, so you said what? 3 million people left Venezuela.
Yeah, that's
So
That's a lot of people.
Guess what? Norway's population is only 5.6 million.
that would be half of Norway.
That'd be pretty much half of Norway.
Yeah.
Could you imagine? No,
There was no way. That
that's seriously. If Norway had the same amount, of, like if they flee
that's
Norway,
stupid.
that's half of their population.
Yeah.
there was
That's
no.
how many people would want to leave? That kind of a terrible.
So that's the. Sorry, Aiden, what are you gonna say?
I was just gonna say something stupid. There was no way that.
No way. What?
That was a pun. Like no Norway. There was no way.
No,
Oh, that was
way.
really bad.
No,
I know it was, yes.
There's no way that I was gonna do that. All right.
There's no way that was good.
Okay,
about
so
Denmark?
anyways,
Yeah. What about Denmark?
You're so mad at me.
boy,
Oh
you're making
my-
me really mad.
Oh,
Anyway, so
okay.
what I was gonna say was that
Denmark is not too much off.
so yeah, Denmark is almost pretty much the same as Norway of 5.7 million.
It's up by 0.1%.
Yeah,
0.1%.
but
Jeez.
can I finish?
No.
Okay,
I'm
so
not talking. Oh wait, no.
anyways,
Oh
so you're really when they're saying that socialism works in these countries, it may work in those countries, but that's on a much smaller scale than what the
No,
U.S. is.
Right.
Yeah.
Because like,
And they're also not truly
You're-
socialists.
so you're assuming that, like, yeah, they're not truly socialists. I'm gonna get to that too, but so-
Again.
again,
You did it again?
unintentionally
Oh,
there.
did I?
Yeah.
Oh gosh. I did.
Literally.
Completely the next line.
Yeah.
Completely the next line.
Boy,
Oh, this is going great,
I
guys.
quit. No.
I didn't mean to do it that time. You guys won't believe me because I've done it so many times.
Well, you weren't
instinctual.
looking there, but
No.
you know, we just assume you memorized it.
I did. I'm lying. I didn't.
He's got plans.
He's got plans.
Oh my word. That's
Yeah, so
great.
it's hard to tell whether it would work on a large scale population because it's never really worked on that big of a population before.
It's
So,
never
like,
worked.
You're just because we're gonna go
Thanks,
into
time
it.
obvious.
Okay.
We're gonna go into it later, but you're the socialism is where everyone's supposed to work together.
Yeah.
How are you assuming that everyone's going to work together? Like I saw something like a YouTube video where they're explaining socialism because I wanted to get like more definitions and stuff, and they described it that that everyone, it's a natural human instinct to work together. So
no.
it's like not all the time. I
It's
disagree with
actually-
that.
Well, what they're saying
94%
is,
of opposite, I think. I mean,
I think that video is right. I think it's the idea that we all want to be in support of each other. We all want to help each other, but then.
but the reality is that
The reality is there has to be competition. The reality there has to be a winner and a loser.
Yeah.
Like we cannot give rewards to every person that's on this planet.
that's like the
Every
participation
single
trophies.
school-
Yeah.
The participation trophy.
Yep.
yeah, it's like
participation
if
trophy.
everybody gets it, then it's not important anymore. It's like
Right.
I heard it this way. It was like if you describe everyone with the same exact characteristic, then does it mean anything? Like are we talking about like I don't know. I don't know. If you describe
what is
everything
it?
with the same characteristic, the same title for the characteristic, then it has no meaning. If you describe everything with the exact same thing, it has no meaning. That's kind of what.
Yeah. I mean, that makes sense.
And I just thought of something. You kind of wonder, like, who do you blame for all of this? Like, for all these younger audiences getting
Bernie
into.
Sanders.
Well, yeah, Bernie's the
just
biggest
joking.
one,
Bernie
but
Sanders, yeah.
like he's
No,
part of it. But what
I know
I'm
that was
thinking is
rhetorical.
like it doesn't come out of nowhere. Like, where are these kids getting the idea that they're gonna get all this stuff? And it's
Right.
like, what do you think? Oh, schools.
Right.
You know, they're saying, oh look, here's a participation trophy for
Right. No,
for
absolutely.
tripping over a rock
The
and not
schools
even
are
being able to
indoctr-
finish the race.
The schools are
You know, it's like,
indoctrinating them.
you know,
that
They are.
crap.
They're kind of like pushing the agenda.
It's
And
like
without
they're planting a
intent.
little seed
No,
inside their
it's
head
with
that
intent, dude.
Well,
That's-
some people
that's-
are with intent to create or socialism, but
I
most
think
of
it's
like-
unintentional,
yeah.
but
For real?
like I think
Okay.
with the school thing was saying participation trophy.
I mean, forced.
that, and I don't know if many people thought about it, but like it transitions to socialism eventually when you get older because then you have
eventually
that
to communism.
communism too. I mean, like they're
Good job,
all
Nathan.
linked.
Good job. There's
Yep.
a connection.
But wait. The participation trophy connected to the socialism. This is getting really weird.
So the next
We didn't know how
thing
else to say
that the next thing that Bernie Sanders and company screws up with is that
Insane as a company.
That's funny.
Oh, that's
you know,
great.
like basically any of
Bernie
the
Sanders
democratic
and-
socialists, what they fail at is that
Everything.
they
Everything. I was thinking the
well
exact
that,
same
but
thing.
Brainwashing people.
they are not full socialist countries. That they're what they're referencing here. Like
Yeah.
Norway, Sweden, Finland, Denmark, they're not full socialists. What really helps them is the capitalistic economy that they have set up.
Yeah.
Right.
And that's what's keeping them afloat. If
Why
they
don't they
did
talk
not
about
have that and it was fully socialist, it probably would have crashed already.
Well, yeah, that's the idea of like we have our U.S. place, like we have our U.S.
US
government.
place.
U.S. place, yeah. We have our U.S. government, and we do have socialist things. We have socialized, what is it?
Medicine, no.
No,
People.
no, like-
People.
We have
Socialized
Medicare.
people.
No, we have Medicare, Medicaid. These things are
Yeah.
like the government's practically forced. Like for Social Security, let's say, like you have to pour into that. You have to legally. You have to give
Yeah.
money
Yeah.
to it. It's
Yeah.
a socialized thing. Everyone pours into it so we can spread out the retirement for everybody. It's like
Yeah.
even at that, it's like well, you're not rewarding people for making wise decisions. So
Yeah.
therefore, they're just putting their money that they're already making, and they're feeling like it's a burden. When really, what people should look at Social Security as, if they were doing it in a healthy way, that they would want to do that. They would want to put away money for retirement. The idea of Social
sir.
Security is great, but it's also the idea of like, well, why can't I take that money and put it in my own accounts? Why can't I take that money and invest it in where I think it's going to be? Because
Yeah.
right now we're investing into the government, and the government clearly 20 trillion in debt, 21 trillion in debt.
19.5, I think.
No, I think it's higher than that. You can see that they don't know how to deal with money.
19.8.
I don't know. Let me look it
Well,
up.
but no, here's the thing. The thing about national debt, it's kind of funny real quick. We have debt from the Civil War still that we haven't paid off.
Right.
I mean, think about that.
That's crazy to think about. Like,
Yeah.
who keeps track of this stuff? You know, like who keeps track of like, oh, you owe my great.
Right.
More than 30
You know,
grades
you
grandpa
You
owed
owe
debt.
stuff from the
22
you owe
trillion.
stuff from the
Oh my
Revolutionary
goodness,
War.
Yeah. Well,
You owe
No,
you
seriously.
owe
I can
France
imagine- I
all
can
this money
imagine-
from the
Right.
Revolutionary War.
I can-
Great.
dude,
Great.
guys, I can imagine a U.S.
Grandpa.
Congress meeting, them all sitting around. Okay, guys, let's deal with this. we have a debt that's over 100 years old, and we need to pay that off,
No,
please.
the idea, I find this funny because I forget, I think it was my brother's girlfriend who said this, I think, can't be for sure on that, but she said that the reason why China is like, the reason why we have so much debt with China is because China accepts debt. Because they go into debt, and then instead of being like, oh, I have power over you because you owe me money, they're like, no, you have power over me because you owe me money and you can say that you don't want to pay it back. Isn't that a weird, twisted way of viewing debt?
That's kind of hard to grasp a little bit.
You said it's hard or not hard?
It's hard to grasp a little bit.
I see both sides, though. It's like, if you borrow money from me, right?
Mm-hmm.
Who has the power?
Right.
You borrow money from me.
Yeah, so you
So
technically
you
have
do.
the
You
power
have the
because
because
you
you
do,
owe
yep.
me money.
because I can't just keep on like I'm gonna go spend my money here because I can't do
Because
that.
it's
I owe
his.
the
Because
country.
it's
I'm not
Plus-
gonna get arrested if I don't pay.
And
him
assuming
back.
that there's interest because if I just owe you $50 flat out and there's no interest building up over time, then it's like then it might be okay. But then maybe I can pay it off.
Even
but like if I say I forget
know what
like
I'm saying,
30
though, my
years later,
perspective?
like crap.
Yeah, that is really interesting.
It's like
that kind of
it's
blew
like,
my mind.
Well, I don't have the power. Yes, I would have the power if we're neighbors in the U.S. because the government will literally come in and take the money or give me the money. No, they don't. They don't even. If you owe someone a debt, they'll go to jail, but they don't always have to pay back the money. So technically, you still have the power. Your life is held to that money. If you give me $1, the court might say no, that's ridiculous. You're not gonna sue someone over $1. But I'm saying, like,
Can you imagine?
That'd be funny.
and the idea that you're a slave to me because you owe me money. The idea behind that is also like, well, if you don't choose to pay me back, then I guess I'm out that money. Like, do you know what I'm saying? Like, that's their idea. That's their mindset down there. So it's like
That's really weird.
that's why I think we're so in debt with China is because China just allows it to happen.
Yeah, they're very like lackadaisy about it,
Which
maybe they're trying to
They do make money and interest, I would imagine, generally speaking, or else they probably wouldn't still be in the business. But
Maybe it's China's plan to wipe us out. I mean, that would be a good way to do
still
it.
have the biggest military because
why? But if they keep on throttling us with debt, we're gonna eventually tank. Like that's
well, it all depends.
we're gonna have to pay that all back. So,
well, think about it. I mean,
we won't be able to.
it's not. I don't think it's possible to get rid of all of the debt.
That's why I'm saying
it
that's
would
their
take
plan.
a
Their
while.
plan is to.
That's why we need to. We
and-
take all the money from everybody and we just pay it off.
Yeah, all at once, and there's all
rob
the money.
every bank on earth. Just like just send in like military guys, just like breaking in every vault. Just
But
like,
no, I really think it's almost impossible because I looked at like some stats showing all of the different countries that had debt. I mean, every single country had debt.
Yeah.
No matter what country you looked at.
Yeah.
There was no country that was above in the positive.
Awful.
No.
Don't you think that's awful?
that's
Everyone owes money to somebody.
He owes money to someone.
Which
owe
is
me
like
money.
You know what we should do? Just everyone say forget about it.
We all drop the number.
Grace period. Just be like bye bye.
Gosh,
No
that's not gonna
debt.
happen.
No, I know, but I'm just saying like what if everyone every country agreed no debt and then they just like clean slate.
Bankruptcy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bankruptcy, you mean? Every country goes bankrupt.
Yeah,
Isn't
at
that
the
the
same
best?
time.
Except I don't think we're the one with the highest.
Second Great Depression.
Yeah, that would be a big Great
In a
Depression.
world where
In a world
where literally everyone
I
has
don't
no
think-
money.
I don't think we have the highest debt though.
No,
Hold on.
What is the
Hold
highest?
on.
Do you know?
Who has
No,
the highest
no.
debt?
I think it's Australia.
Really? You're making.
Sorry.
No, you're good.
That doesn't make any sense why Australia would.
Do you know that Australia can't even keep their power on all the time?
Yeah.
Oh.
That's how bad that their debt is. Yeah.
Like Elon Musk had to go over there and build like battery towers and things or whatever.
Well,
He's
some
awesome.
countries like Puerto Rico for one.
Wow, really?
That's
Japan?
No, but they're at 19 trillion. China comes in second with a national debt of 10.
The first Australia,
who's
right?
first?
But this is old. This has to be old because we're 22
That's from
trillion
2017. Yeah.
now. Oh, we might be. I did not think that we would come to this time. Well, I know I thought we might.
That is scary.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, the United States.
We're
Let's
always on top.
go! We're on top of the highest debt.
Yay.
Hey, but we're still.
Let's take it to the United
Wait,
Kingdom, though.
external debt.
External debt.
Oh,
That's the
yeah.
debt we owe everyone else, yeah.
My gosh. What's
19
wrong with us? Per capita, 58 $100,000.
What?
Ooh.
Oh my gosh.
Oh,
This is like
that's
this
insane.
is like a video game. It's basically like a
Well, think
I'm
about
sorry,
it. How
it
many
is.
people are
I
in
mean,
the U.S.? What was the statistic?
327 million.
327 million. How are we?
How many people would have to
20
dig into
trillion.
that? Let's do a
no
little
way-
Is that
math
what per
experiment.
capita means? I think it's what per capita means. But if you do the math real quick, where's my calculator?
If each person had to get up all their
Oh,
money,
I can't do that many zeros. Let's ask
why? That's not
Siri.
even possible to.
What is it? How many million?
327 million.
Okay. 20 trillion divided by 327 million.
That's like this
That
is nuts.
did not work at all.
Why? Like that just tells you how big a number it is. Like
No, it worked. It just it said it wrong. Oh well, it's a lot.
Yeah, so
per
just-
person.
let's just do this.
Yeah,
experiment
just
really
look
quick.
it up yourself. 'cause-
Well,
yourself.
here's a little thought experiment. If everyone in the country had to gather up all their money and
Mm-hmm.
pay it still wouldn't be enough. Probably, it still wouldn't be. If all
It probably
327
would be
million
enough.
people,
I don't know how much. I'm not even gonna go into it. You
Yeah.
guys do your own research.
yeah. Please
We
comment
should have
and
done
let
this
us know.
beforehand, but
And,
we didn't know we were going down this route.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
kind of go down our
No
own
notes on
route
that.
each time, kind of like find something new. But we're gonna have to cut this one off into part two.
Part two.
We're gonna go into and look for that when it comes out. But part two, we're going to talk about the free college situation that everybody loves.
Oh yeah, I can't wait for free college.
I know.
For
Yeah.
socialism to take over, free college to
No more
reign.
college debt.
There we go.
Yeah, we can party all the time without having to spend a dime.
I mean, that would require me to have to party now, and I don't do that. So
Yeah.
Haha.
we have our own little party. It's called Off the Grid. All right, guys.
See you guys.
See you guys.